ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः।
Dear friends, we have started studying the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita for the last 2 sessions after a long break. And we are in the thick of a discussion where Sri Krishna explains to Arjuna most rationally, commonsensically, the concept of incarnation of the divine known as Avatarvada. Avatar means one who goes through the activity of descending. Avatarana is descending. Avatara is he who descends. What is this consent of descending? Ajopi san advayatma bhutanam isharopi san prakritim sam adhishtaya sambhavami atma mayaya. That is what he says. That look, left to myself, I am in my reality the birthless, the deathless, and therefore I am not subject to any mutation. I am infinite, I am eternal, I am immutable, therefore I am absolute. That is what my true nature is. But I, with the cosmic energy, which is a part and parcel of my being, I activate that cosmic energy according to my will, and I create myself as a human being, born as a human, living as a human, behaving as a human. But everything said and done, my birth is not according to the normal biological process, and my behavior pattern is uncomparable, otherworldly. This is what you would learn. I am appearing to be a human being. I carry out myself as a human being. I am responsive to human emotions, but I have no propensity whatsoever. All I have is the divine excellence, the divine magnificence known as Shara Bhaga Sampanya Ishvara. I who am bestowed with 6 excellent divine qualities. Jnana, Aishwarya, Shakti, Bala, Bija, Teja. This is what I am. Once for all, Arjuna, keep it absolutely in mind. This is what I am. Now, he is bored over and over again, he says. What for? Is he whimsical? He says, no. I have created this universe. I have created this human society. I have set the ball rolling, but I have done it with a purpose. The purpose is I am everywhere. From the point and concept of spirit, I am playing with myself in this field dominated by Maya. And I have given in myself as a human being that capacity of penetrating through the veil of Maya, to penetrate through the veil of ignorance. I've given that potential capacity for them to work out, and that is the divine play. But somehow or other find my children forget their purpose of being born a human. They get entangled into this mess known as the world. To teach them how to find their way back to me, to teach them how to live in this world and enjoy this world as my creation, being one with me, I am born over and over again to show a path to my misguided children. The question is, why should I get misguided if God has created me? That is why the concept of Leela, the divine play, has come into being. He is not enmical with you. He is alone. He feels his loneliness. So he creates this. And there is not a speck of space or an iota of time where he is not. He's playing with himself and enjoying the play as an eternal observer. But when he finds that play is becoming very bitter, tiring, exhausting, leading children astray, he is born over again to show the children how to live in this world and be out of it. In it, but you are not of it. This is the separate meaning. You are in it, but you don't belong to it. You live here as a swan lives in water, a duck lives in water, a fish lives in water. It doesn't stick on them. You will learn to live that way. That is why he says, Mama Janma, Mama Karma is Divyam. Underline that word Divyam. Divyam means effulgent, Dotanavan. It spreads light and splendor so that you understand. At the same time, the other meaning of the word Divyam is Alaukikam. You will not find a single person with this capacity in the world, but as and when I create myself. So, he concludes the 9th shloka. We have studied the 10th. We are to study the 11th. But you know, it is so interconnected. If you study it in isolation, you may go wrong. Therefore, whenever you study the Gita, the shloka of your contention, please study a couple of them before, so that you know what is the sequence of thought that Sri Krishna is developing. What does he say? My birth and my behavior in this world is absolutely alaukikam. That is, no other human being can live that way. And it is effulgent. It is full of light and splendor, so that I suffer through all the miseries and pains that you suffer. But I suffer with a particular attitude where there is no sufferance. Your attitude is wrong, that is why you suffer. I come here to teach you that attitudinal correction. Correction of your attitude by means of which you live in this world. The world has no effect on you. This is why I want to teach you the purpose of my life. Please study my life in this manner, and if you understand it in reality, you will no more be born again. You will, after fall of this body, your spirit will merge with me. This is what he says up to the 9th shloka. And then he says, you ask, sir, how do I then qualify myself to know you in itself, tat-tatah? Know you as you want me to know you in reality, know you in itself without any spice and salt. How do I? You should tell me that method also. You say that will happen to me, but you don't tell me the method how to make it happen. So the 10th shloka is a description as what you have to do: information, education, instruction, description. What you have to do to qualify yourself to reach that goal. The 10th shloka we have studied, Vitaraga Bhaya Krodha. You must totally get rid of the hold of these propensities on you. What are those propensities? Raga and Dvesha, attachment and aversion. It is nothing else but an involvement without the awareness of presence of the divine. Raga Dvesha Vigataha, Bhaya Vigataha, Krodha Vigataha. These are the cardinal propensities which keeps us away from God. So he says, if you have asked me honestly and sincerely, how do I, after rationally knowing, how do I experience that secret of yours, being born as a human for this purpose, and how do I profit myself from this knowledge? This was your question, Arjuna. Now let me tell you. How do you qualify yourself? How do you graduate yourself? How do you uplift yourself to reach that goal? First is, get rid of these so-called 4 cardinal propensities. Raga, attachment. The obverse of attachment is avarice, not like it. I like it, I do not like it. Aversion, attachment and aversion. I will practice not to be a victim of attachment and aversion. Come what may. And therefore, I have no fear, nothing to fear. If you don't expect anything, the question of being afraid of losing doesn't appear, doesn't exist, doesn't happen. I want nothing from this world, and I mean it. So I'm absolutely fearless. I have nothing to lose. Bhaya and Krodha is, I want this to happen, and it is not happening, and I blow my top off. You are trying to place yourself in the throne of God, which is utter stupidity, idiocy. Vigata, Raga, Dvesha, Bhaya, Krodha. Now, this is a discipline by means of which you are weeding these things out of your personality. Your personality is a container of various ideas and attitudes. That is what your character is, that is what your personality is. Heaps and heaps of jumbled up ideas and etc., etc., etc. He says, start de-weeding it. But your personality is a container. It is full of these raga, dvesha, bhaya and krodha. And you start de-weeding it, you are creating a vacuum. And if you are not positive in your attitude, that vacuum slowly and slowly will be filled up by those again. They will come back home to roost. The bird will come back to its nest. So immediately he teaches you how do you conduct your spiritual life, your sadhana, your spiritual discipline. Man maya bhava, mam upasrita bhava. He has used plural. I am using singular in number. Be totally saturated with the idea of my presence in your life. Man maya. Be saturated with the idea of my presence in your life. You're weeding up, and as soon as that vacuum takes place, fill it up with awareness of God. We only think weeding up is the process. Don't get angry. How can you not get angry whether there's space enough for you to be angry, to be a victim of anger? How could you? Fill up that place with wine of God. Manamaya bhavaha. Mam upashritaha. And take shelter under my benign care and guidance. Upa ashritaha. Sharanagata, that is, take total shelter under his benign, compassionate, charitable guidance. So, your main attention will be, you fill yourself with awareness of God and be always prayerful to his compassionate mercy. There will be no space left for anger and aversion, fear and attachment. You are filling it up. And I give you a very, very practical, commonsensical example. Somewhere in the scriptures I found it, I can't locate it now. Say for instance there is a pot. The pot is full of dirt and muck. And your teacher tells you, I want the pot to be filled up with something unadulterated, something to its brim. Now this is your challenge. This is your assignment. Think of something which you can satisfy my demand on you. You keep on thinking. You're a student of chemistry. And all of a sudden, it rings a bell that mercury is semi-liquid and mercury is the heaviest of all things. So let me collect a little mercury and drop by drop, let me pour that mercury into that pot. Mercury being the heaviest goes down to the bottom and secure its place. That volume has to be made for the presence of the mercury so something will spill off. Add another drop of mercury and keep on adding mercury. The mercury coalesces and it fills up. And all the space that mercury is filling up, the dirt and scum has to break off, fall off to make space here. It spills away, it spills away, it spills away. You continue the process till it is to the brim. Not only that, mercury, because of its convection, it is in a convex form. You have done it. Similarly, the positive aspect of this statement, Manmaya Bhava Manupashrita, is the way of becoming Vigata Raga Bhaya Krodha. Please keep it in mind if you are a serious student who desires to reach that spiritual goal of oneness with the divine. What are you doing? You are filling your personality with the awareness of presence of God. And that awareness of presence, like mercury, pushes out everything from the container. Manmaya bhava mamupashrita bhava. Take, and how do you do that continuously? Bahavo jnana tapasha puta. Keep your discriminative faculty uppermost. I must do this, I must not do that. This is what I do 24/7 by 52 into my lifetime. Not a moment elsewhere. Bahavo jnana tapasha puta. If you continue to be so discriminative and so involved, automatically you will be purified thoroughly well. Your personality, which is egocentric today, and because it is egocentric, it is a victim of those 6 propensities. Now that egocentric personality, because of awareness of presence of the divine, which is equal to mercury of that example, and you fill it up with awareness of the divine, and all the dirt spills away. Your egocentric personality becomes divinized. Mat bhavam agata. You will be absolutely saturated in me. In these 2 shlokas, as I told you last time, the essence of spiritual practice and its discipline has been informative, educative, instructive, descriptive. Now, this is a revision. Introduction to the next shloka, shloka number 11. Now, is it very easy? I, being a head of a center, have so many problems. I have to think of it. Oh Lord God, please help me. This is a problem I don't know how to solve. Please kindly help me. You can do that by your will, by your wish, by a glance from the corner of your eyes. Please, God, help me out. I belong to this category. How come I run away from this and I become that of what you say in the 10th shloka? And you say, they will only come to me. Madhbhavamagata. They will come to me, only they. Who are they? Manmaya Mamupashita Bahavo Jnana Tapasha Putaha Vitaraga Bhayakroda. That person who has qualified with this, they only come. Are you a partial God? You have your favorites and your not favorites? Are you partial? Do you hate somebody and love somebody? What type of a God are you? And as a human, according to your scriptures, you have classified human beings into three categories. Artha, Artharthi, Jigyashu, Jnani. Sri Krishna has classified humans in these four groups. Artha, one who is in great trouble. And he has nowhere to go, though he doesn't believe in God. But he looks towards the skies and prays for something to happen to protect him from total calamity. That is an artha. And he weeps and wails to be protected and prevented from total destruction. Artharthi, the second category of human. I am in problem. I want my problem to be solved, and I pray to God. I accept the presence of God, but I want God to give me what I want. Not He wants of me. I want this of Him. This is Artharthi. Jigyashu, an inquirer, or a man of inquisitiveness. He wants to know. So, he is told, perform these jagas, yajnas, havanas, purasharanas, and so forth, diligently, wholeheartedly, without any break or hindrance, to propitiate God. This is instructions left by scriptures for a person who wants to be one with God, but through this procedure of wanting, not the procedure of total renunciation. He is a jigyashu. There's a method and means of his to go and reach that goal. And the last category is Jnani, who fits into that 10th shloka that he has understood by his discriminative faculty, his capacity to weigh in the balance of advantage and disadvantage. This is advantageous to me for my spiritual goal, and I will do this, nothing else. And Bhavo Jnana Tapasa Puta, that Jnani, he comes to me. These are the four categories. You are only interested in the topmost category. What type of an even-handed God you are? I belong to these four categories, not the last, but the first three. Do you mean anything to me or not? He has to admit. So let us read the 11th shloka, today's study. What does it say? Ye jatha mam prapadyante tams tatha eva aham bhajami. Ye jatha mam prapadyante tams tatha eva aham bhajami. Bhajamyaham. Whoever in the world, in this human society, in whichever attitude he has cultivated, with that attitude as an artha, as an artharthi, and as a jigyashu, or as a jnani. All those 4 categories, according to their intention and their desire, their ability and capabilities, they pray to me. Ye jatha mam prapadyante. Whosoever and whosoever, in whatever form they can, they like, they are able to, prapadyante, they worship me, they pray to me, they seek from me wholeheartedly. Sincerely, honestly, wholeheartedly, not superficially, right from the core of his being. Prapadyante, that is the word, right from the bottom of your heart, with your heart and soul. Oh Lord, I need this. Please give me. If it comes from your heart, he says, I will, according to the desire of my devotee, whether he belongs to the category of Artha, category of Artharthi, category of Jigyashu, category of Jnani, he must in totality pray to me with his heart and soul. I will fulfill that to him. Tam tatha eva aham bhajami. Ebe vinyoge. It's a promise by God. Why did he say so? He says, because I am everywhere. I am ever present, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent. Sarvagam achinta rupam. I am everywhere. Now here comes a very, very critical question. And I'll take opportunity to answer that. Generally, many of the Hindus being exposed to Western thoughts, not the Hindu culture properly, they always tend to make a fun of, in Hindu mythology, the thousands of gods and goddesses. And they make fun of it. Even in those Indians not cultured to Hindu lore, they also make fun, more so the Westerners. Oh my, it's very difficult. God is an elephant is a god, this is a god, that is a god, that is a god. Oh my, everything is God. It's absolutely idolatrous, superstitious. Now here's an occasion to understand. He says, Mama Bhartanu Bhartante Manushya Partha Sarvasa. Whatever your prayer may be, to whomsoever you pray, you know I am there. I am the chief operator. And now, let me explain. A few. The concept of Lakshmi, goddess of fortune, goddess of graciousness, goddess of well-being. Now, I am suffering abject poverty. I am in no mood to ask for mukti and bhakti. I want 2 morsels to eat every day. I am told, Lakshmi, the mother, for one aspect of the mother, giver of wealth, power, wealth, grace, and everything, let me pray to it. So that aspect of divinity has been represented by this idea, and that idea is symbolized in a form. Kartika, Ganesha, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Jagadhatri, Durga. I don't know, endless of them. Each and every aspect of the divine, which has infinite aspects. They have been finitized through a symbolical form. Je jatha mam prapadyante, tams tathaiva aham bhajami. Why? Mama vartmanuvartante manusya partha sarvasa. Whomsoever you may pray, know for certain you are praying to Sagun Sakara Ishvara, known as Parama Ishvara, the Supreme Lord God of the universe, who has infinite number of qualities and therefore infinite number of symbolic forms. And an Avatara Sangini, the divine consort, she encompasses everything in one form. And Devi Bhakta, worshipper of Devi, any form, she knows she represents all aspects. It is no more compartmental. From a compartmental thinking, you are taken beyond compartmentation. That is the principle of conception of hundreds of gods and goddesses. It is not superstitious, it is not idolatrous, it is like a mother. In the Gospel, Sri Ramakrishna explains this in a very, very homely manner. A mother has 4 children. And being a mother, she understands 4 children of 4 different temperaments. And to build them up, the mother gives them what their temperament needs. It's a mother's duty. The motherhood is all comprehensive. Any form of motherhood you choose, know for certain, this form is for my satisfaction. She is, in reality, the Divine Mother of the universe. Mama Bhartma Anuvartante. They all lead to the same goal. The paths are different. The goal is myself. Mama Bharta. They walk towards me, and in a geometrical manner, I tell you, this is the tip of my finger. People sitting all around me sees the tip of the finger. They say they are seeing the same finger, but because of the position vis-a-vis to this tip of the finger, each person's view is different from the other, but they see the same. A circumference with 1,296,000 points, seconds, all of them reach to the circle. They are separate from each other. Mama Bharta Anuvartante is unity in diversity. Manusya Partha Sarvasa. Hey Prithu Partha Arjuna. Humans, the whole gamut of human society, quadrillions if not more than that, they all pray to me. They pray according to their capacity, ability, but they all pray to me. Whatever it is, there's a beautiful saying, a shloka in Sanskrit poem. Akashat patati toyam samudram abhigacchati. Rains fall from the skies, the clouds, high up in the clouds. Each and every drop of water ultimately reaches the ocean. Similarly, quadrillion people pray to infinite number of symbolic gods and goddesses. But they should know all their prayers come to me. Mama Bhartma Anuvartante. They all follow my path. The path, however different they may be, they lead to me. Here Sri Krishna is saying oneness of all faiths, of all religions. It is not a flight of philosophical beauty. It is a reality, it is a practical exposition of oneness of the universe. So dears, let us stop it here today. Ye jatha mam prapadyante tams tatha eva aham bhajami. How do I say so? Because mama bhartva anuvartante. They all follow my path in a form that they are used to think because of tradition, because of upbringing, because of faith, because of belief. The whole human, they pray to me, whether they are artha, whether they are artharthi, whether they are jigyashu, whether they are jnani. Each of them, in whatever their requirement is, they pray, the prayer comes to me, and it is I, through that symbol, I wish him they think that symbol is helping them. In reality, it is I who am listening to their prayers. Thank you, dears. Thank you ever so much. We will meet again next Sunday and carry on this study.
Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.